All right, we are back with another pick'em video. Going to be going over my favorite plays for the NBA today. Now, there's only 3 games, so definitely some value out there. Definitely loving these picks. But I'm going to go and add a NHL play to this too to get you guys some more value and just to give you guys some more options. But if you're new to this channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe. We rip out daily content like this every single day. Leave the video a like and then comment anything down below. Just helps YouTube push this video out a little bit more. Now, it is a little bit later in the day. And that is a good thing for people that are, looking at lines now, because if I drop this line or if I drop this video at like 4 a.m., all these lines would be bumped already. But so getting like a later look at the board here is always a good thing. And it also gives us more options of like first half stuff, fantasy score stuff, and things like that. So if you're also new here, we go over our plays every single day, not just the days we have good days, also on the bad days. But we went 4 for 5 in the 5 man that I gave out. I only gave 4 of these plays out. Tyus Jones was the big miss there. The Wizards got absolutely crushed. So that's a difficult one. Blowouts are always an annoying factor in these. But Gobert got his third dunk in there. LeBron hit his second three. Malik Beasley was the one I didn't give out, but we did that in the Discord. He hadn't been hitting free throws. I think it's like an 85% hit rate on the entire year. And then Brook Lopez crushed his first half fantasy score like he's been doing. So we killed it yesterday. We'll take the double up. Also ran this out. I think, right here, actually. Also ran this out as a little 2-man. That's something I typically like to do in the Discord. If I'm, liking all the 5 plays I play in a 5-man, I typically like to break it up into a 2-man or 2 with my favorite plays in there. So, just try to capitalize on the winnings. And let's just jump into the board right now. Get these picks out quick. So going over to the board, going to be starting off with a player that's going to be across all platforms. He's going to be on Underdog. He's going to be on PrizePicks. He's going to be on Sleeper. Anywhere you're betting, he's going to be there. And it's going to be Ausar Thompson. This is a difficult matchup for Ausar, but when he gets the minutes, he crushes this line. So we're going to go to his 19.0 PRA over on PrizePicks. Now on Underdog, this is at 18.5, so highly recommend taking it over there if you can before that gets bumped up. But 19.0 PRA, let's jump into his outlier page. This is a partner of the channel. You can get a free week using my code in the description down below. Highly recommend trying this out if you're someone that bets pretty consistently. This is a tool that will make your research very, very seamless. You can see hit rates, you can see matchups, you can see minutes, which is what we're going to be looking at today. They got a whole bunch of information for you. So 8-point spread. Hopefully this isn't a complete blowout. But Orlando is a good defense here. So 6th ranked in terms of points allowed, 3rd ranked in terms of rebounds allowed, 1st ranked in terms of assists allowed. You're going to go, hey, why the heck are you going to that? Especially when you look at the hit rate on the whole year, 44%. That's not too good. Now let's kind of break this down. We see a whole bunch of green at the beginning of the year. We see a whole bunch of green, kind of starting again over here. And that's, again, very much a minutes thing. So when Ausar Thompson gets the minutes, he's able to get some points. He's able to get a bunch of rebounds. He's able to get assists. He's actually able to get blocks and steals. He's a guy just like his brother that can kind of stuff the stat sheet. And we can see, with this red comes a whole bunch of dip in minutes. So when he gets the minutes, it's a lot of green. When he doesn't get the minutes, it's a whole lot of red. So with Isaiah Stewart out in this game, Ausar Thompson will get an extended run. We can see his minutes kind of creeping up. That makes sense as a young Pistons team kind of, nearing the last third of the season. They're going to start running their young guys, kind of see what they have in store for the next few years. And Ausar Thompson's a rookie. He can definitely take the run. And with the minutes, we'll show you this looks a lot better. So whole bunch of red in the middle of the season when he wasn't getting the minutes. But we can see over on RotoWire, they gave us a projection model on how many minutes they think people are going to get today. And they're projecting 30 minutes for Ausar. So that's a whole bunch more than what he was seeing in the middle of the season, kind of more what he was seeing at the beginning and now, the past few games. So to be conservative, let's go to 25 minutes right here, and we'll see what the chart looks like now. And it looks a lot better. So when he gets at least 25 minutes, this is a 79% hit rate, whole lot better. And he has played this Orlando Magic team when he played 27 minutes. I'll show you right quick. 27.4 minutes against these guys back in early February, so about 20 days ago, and he had 25 PRA against this tougher matchup in Orlando. So love to see that. This is very much a minutes play. When he gets the minutes, the hit rate's looking incredible. This is also a home game. If you want to look at home games where he gets 25 minutes, this is now an 85% hit rate. Home games are huge for rookies. They feel a little bit more comfortable rather than in that, the Lions Den in an away arena. They're not totally used to that yet. So put that into the perspective. Home game, 25 plus minutes. The hit rate's looking incredible. So when we think about it like that, looking a whole lot better, even with this tougher matchup. Now, in terms of the odds or whatever, I do have this pulled up. I want to show you that the PRA on 19 is slightly favored technically on the under here. It's because all these other books have this at 18.5. Now, I think these will start raising up as people start to realize that when he gets the minutes, he's got a whole bunch of opportunity for some points, rebounds, and assists. But at 18.5, this is a positive EV play. So if you want to go take this over on underdog, I showed you it is at 18.5 over on underdog. Not sure when that will bump. But over on underdog, this will be a positive EV play. So I still like it at 19. There's some push potential there, but taking 18.5 over on underdog is definitely a solid way to go. It's probably at 18.5 on sleeper and other places as well. So loving Ausar today. Next up, I want to go to the projection model. This is on RotoWire. You can get 2 days free of this. Also on DG Fantasy, highly recommend getting this. This shows you market value across all different platforms to kind of see if you're attacking good value on PrizePicks, Underdog, whatever you're playing on. And highly recommend this. You get 25% off your first month using my code in the description. But RotoWire, this is our projection model, my favorite projection model. 2-day free trial if you want to hit that link in the description for this. But let's go to Ausar Thompson right over here. We can see that his points, rebounds, and assists, again, is up at 19, but they're still liking the over here. They're projecting 21.15. We only need 19 to at least push. If he gets 20, that's awesome. I think he's going to get more than that. So the projection model is liking this. The hit rate's incredible when you start thinking about the minutes. And Ausar Thompson is going to be our first play, universal play. You can get this pretty much anywhere. Now, the next guy I want to go to, we're going to be jumping over to the first quarter tab on PrizePicks, and it's going to be Kristaps Porzingis returning to Madison Square Garden, where he played his earlier years. He was drafted by the Knicks. Going to be going over his first quarter points here at 6.0. Now, just like for Ausar Thompson, I recommend going to underdog for that one at 18.5. For Porzingis' first quarter points, they got this at 6.5 first quarter points over here, which is still fine, I think. But 6.0 on PrizePicks, obviously, we're getting some great push potential there. So going to be a little bit quicker in terms of the explanation here, just because we're not going to be able to look at the projection model or the odds. I already had them pulled up there. But let's go to Porzingis here. Pull up his outlier page, kind of see what the hit rate's been. And it's been pretty good. 80% of the last 10 games he's gone over this. This doesn't even include one of these pushes. That wouldn't hurt us. So really 90% of the last 10 games, he hasn't hurt us on this line. So he's been scoring the ball very, very consistently in the first quarter. Now, when you look, take a step back, look at the whole year. This is a 46% hit rate, but he's been getting a ton of minutes in the first quarter. A lot of the games getting 12 minutes. That's kind of been the norm recently, where at the beginning of the year, he was only getting, 6 to 8 minutes. Some of the games obviously getting 12 here, but very consistently getting a whole bunch of run in the first quarter, which I love to see. So that's been translating well to him scoring. Again, going up against the Knicks, a tougher defense. They don't have OG Anunoby. They will not have Julius Randle in this one. So that does take a little bit of a hit. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson's not in here. But we can look at the head-to-head matchup here. He's gone over in 2 of the 3 games, had 15 points against these guys back on, I think this might have been like the first game of the season. Then he had 5 back in November. And then most recently, he had 10 points against these guys back in December. So pretty good sample size in terms of what he's done against these guys. Now, in terms of centers, pulling the centers out a little bit, I think, expect him to hit a few threes if you can pull Hartenstein out of the paint a little bit. So that would be good to see. I think Porzingis has a great matchup here when I think about it just in terms of knowledge without looking at like the stats behind it. Because, again, OG and Julius Randle are such a big part of that defense. But yeah, Porzingis here, 6.0, looking really good. Hit rate in terms of the whole year, we can look at that. But when he's been getting a whole bunch of minutes, it's been a whole bunch of green. Last 10 games has looked incredible. So looking really good. I can't show you really in terms of odds just because they won't have it over on DG Fantasy. I can't show you in terms of projection model either. But it's good to see that Underdog already has this at 6.5. Maybe that's trending upwards, and this one might get bumped too. But at 6.0 over on PrizePicks, looking really, really nice for us. Now, jumping out of the first quarter tab, I'm going to be jumping to the first half tab here. I'm going to be going right to Cade Cunningham. Probably should have talked about him right after Ausar Thompson because they're on the same team. But going to be going under his 11.0 first half points. Again, more difficult matchup in Orlando. But we can jump over to his outlier page. You can see his under 11.0 first half points is looking very, very good in terms of hit rate. 8 of the last 10 games, he's gone under this. Again, we talk about the matchup here in Orlando. It is a more difficult matchup, and he's faced these guys twice this year, maybe 3 times, no, twice this year, and he had 10 against them in the first half in both of those games. So loving to see the hit rate looking incredible, 62% of the whole year as well, but very much recently been going under this very consistently. So love to see that. He's been getting consistent amount of minutes in terms of the whole year, maybe even a little bit more of a drop off here. So Cade under looking very, very good in terms of hit rate. The matchup looks good for this one because we are attacking it under against Orlando. And if you want to go to the full game, if you don't have access to first half stats, I think you could do that as well. This is a very much a positive EV play in terms of the full game. 21.5 is the line right now on PrizePicks. 53.36% chance to go under. Pinnacle's already got this at 20.5, and the places that still have it at 21.5, like DraftKings, is at minus 135. So very much a positive EV play if you want to go to his full game under 21.5. And then jumping over to the projection model, they're on the under as well, 21.5. Everything leaning on the under here, and they're projecting 20.26. So if he gets 21 points, that won't hurt us. If he gets anything under that, that'd be great for us. So Cade under 11.0 first half points, or if you want to just go to his 21.5 points for the full game, you can do that as well. Now, I do want to touch on one player. He was on the board, but looks like they're moving lines around. Anthony Edwards. Looks like he just popped back up, so that's good to see. At 3.5 3-pointers made, this is a more of a fun play. It's a demon play. I don't typically show these on my channel, but 3.5 3-pointers made. If you want to get a little crazy with it, go ahead and add him to this. I think it's a pretty solid demon for us at 3.5. We can see it's a plus 140 odds, so definitely plus money odds, but nothing too crazy. And we see the hit rate here. 5 of the last 10 games he's gone over this. He's gotten 4, had 5 against Chicago, and he's been shooting it a whole bunch. He's been shooting a whole bunch of threes, especially recently. So pretty solid. 5 of the last 7 games he's gone over this. He's got the best matchup you can think of going against Brooklyn today. If we 26 in terms of 3-pointers made allowed. But if we look a little bit farther into this, the last 7 games to shooting guards specifically, Anthony Edwards is definitely a shooting guard. He's probably one of the better shooting guards in the league. And we can see that 2 shooting guards specifically, 5.54 3-pointers made against them in the last 7 games. So again, best matchup you can get right here. And they're also on a back-to-back. Anthony Edwards is a younger star, someone they definitely rely on and lean on in terms of these back-to-back games. The last time they had a back-to-back set was right here. The 12th, he had 1 against the Clippers, and then he came back the 13th and had 4 against Portland. So everything kind of pointing a pretty solid direction in terms of the 3-pointers attempted. Again, it's just kind of been going up. He's been shooting a whole bunch of them and shooting them at a pretty decent clip, 41% in terms of the last 10 games. In 2023 as a whole, again, we can see the hit rates, nothing crazy. This is a demon for a reason. But we can see 6.8 attempts, but trending in the right direction, especially the past few games. He's been shooting a whole bunch of these threes. So hopefully they lean on him. Maybe they're a little bit tired. He's a younger guy. Maybe he goes out and jacks a few threes up. Don't play this if you have a smaller bankroll, but if you have some money to play around with, it's Saturday night. Maybe chase that demon for Anthony Edwards at 3.5. Now, remember, there's only 3 NBA games today. That's kind of a reason why I'm adding this demon. But I also told you guys I wanted to show you a NHL play, and that's what I'm going to do really quickly here. Popping over to the NHL tab, I think you could attack this guy a few different ways, and it's going to be Fabian Zetterlund, however you pronounce that. And I think you could go to either of these lines on the under. I'm going to be going to the points on the under. I think you could also go to the shots on goal on the under. But quickly going over to his outlier page, we can see the hit rate for points is incredible, all green. In terms of the matchup, it's kind of a bottom third matchup, so not the best matchup in the world. The last 5 games, 80% hit rate. Last 10 games, 70% hit rate. Last 20 games, 70% hit rate, 100% in the head-to-head, and 67% on the whole year. Looking really good. Shots on goal is another good one to go to. But right here, Fabian. Let's go in to see it visually. Very, very solid here. 7 of the last 10 games. In terms of 2023 as a whole, that's very, very solid here as well. And then the hit rate for head-to-head is good too. They played each other once very early on in this year, and he had 0 against these guys. So Fabian, I think it's a very, very good line in terms of the hit rate. The matchup isn't the best in the world, but it's not the worst in the world. And then in terms of the market value, the odds in terms of the other sports books, good to see Pinnacle and DraftKings favor this very much at minus 130, minus 135, 54.09% chance to hit. So getting great odds. Again, shots on goal is another good way to run this out at 53.9% chance to hit. A few more data points as well, pretty much minus 130 across the board. And then in terms of the projection model, that is on the under as well. 2.5 shots, they're expecting 2.34 or 36. And then for 0.5 points, they're expecting 0.45. So everything pointing towards the under for all these guys' lines. I think you could attack him on the under in any way. So wanted to add that in. Again, only 3 NBA games, a whole bunch of NHL. And this game's not till 10 p.m. So you have a whole bunch of time to do that one as well. So, quick recap for the people that just skipped to the end, or if you're just trying to get these in. We got Ausar Thompson over 19.0 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, this is at 18.5 on Underdog, probably on Sleeper, on Sportsbooks. You could probably get this at 18.5. But with the minutes, we've seen him play very, very well, even in a tougher matchup against Orlando. Porzingis going up against his old Knicks team in Madison Square Garden, 6.0 first quarter points. He's been getting a ton of run in the first quarter, sometimes even all 12 minutes. And kind of reading into that narrative, maybe he's got a revenge tour against his old team, a team that booed him when they were drafted him back in 2014 or whatever, 2015. Cade Cunningham under 11.0 first half points. For Cunningham, you could go to his full game at 21.5. I think you could go under that as well. Again, difficult matchup in Orlando here, and a team that he hasn't played well against in the past, but also a team that, or a hit rate that's looking really good. Anthony Edwards at 3.5. This is a demon play. This is not likely to hit. It's plus money, but he's got the best matchup in the world for this 3.5 demon play on the over. And then our NHL play for the day, only 3 NBA games. But we got Fabian Zetterlund under 0.5 points. I think you could also run this out for shots on goal. But his hit rate looks incredible. You know, it's not the best matchup in the world, but something that's been hitting pretty consistently. And the odds in the projection model are favoring that as well. But yeah, if you want to join a community that talks props about all different types of sports, not just NBA, that's mostly what we do for videos here. But that's the one that's in season right now. It's also my favorite sport, my most knowledgeable sport. But jump over to the Discord. I highly recommend getting in here. You get access to all my plays, but you also get access to other, invested sports bettors, sports enthusiasts, and people are always talking here. As you want to see right now, it's 12-12 right now. The last message here is 12 or 2, or sorry, it's not 12-12, it's 2-12. The last message in here at 2:06. It's very, very active. People are always talking lines, talking sports. You get access again to all of my plays, but also the seasoned chefs in here are always ripping out plays. Other people are always sharing their slips. And, we got a lot of good invested people in here. So it's $20 a month. But if you want to get in here for free, you can do that too using any of my codes and links. If you're, interested in this stuff and you want to jump on PrizePicks, Underdog, Chalkboard, Sleeper, or Dabble, or if you want to use DG Fantasy, I highly recommend doing that. You'll get a free month for any of these codes. So if you use 2 of them, you'll get 2 months. If you use 1 of them, you'll get 1 month. If you use all 6 of them, you'll get 6 of them. And you just got to DM me, send me a screenshot, say, hey, use your code. Can I get in for the free trial? And I'll say, yeah, of course. Glad to have you. And just join the community. It's a good time. So again, access to all my slips. You'll also get the perks of the 100% deposit match up to $100, up to $500 over on Sleeper. So that's a perk in itself. But again, take advantage of the free month of the Discord. We have a whole bunch of fun, but also a bunch of success in here as well. So that will do it for this one. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully some more games. I haven't actually checked the schedule for the NBA, but that video should come out earlier in the day just because on Sunday, some of those games are a little bit earlier. So that will do it for this one. Hopefully make some money tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.